Today for New Music Monday, we're going to check out the brand new album from Afghan Whigs, and it's called Due to the Beast. Now, this is the band's first release in about 15 years, and if you don't know them, they're one of the most important bands in that whole more melodic side of what people like to call grunge. And they had a huge importance in the development of that alt-rock sound that emerged in the mid-90s. Now, I will say that the fact that there's only 2 of the original band members on this album does make it feel a little bit wrong that they're using the band's name. But more to the point, original guitarist Rick McCollum is one of the people not on the record, and his absence is extremely noticeable on every second of this record. The way that Rick was always able to create emotion and manipulate his guitar sound in so many different ways is really what made that band. And once you listen to these songs, you realize that they are distant cousins from anything the Afghan Whigs ever did. Now, the album does start off strong musically, as the guitar riff is really good, and there's also a very full sound to the track, and it really sounds like a cool song. But there's a sense of redundancy that happens really quickly. The songs start running together and kind of sound the same, and not in the good way. And also not in a good way, most of these songs sound like they're stuck in the mid-90s. It doesn't have a retro feel, it sounds like a band that's living in the past. I can't say it any other way. From end to end, this record is dated. And while some bands can pull that off, like Slayer does with their metal, this absolutely does not work. And to tell you the truth, I doubt many people are going to be able to get through more than 1, maybe 2 listenings of this record. But the biggest issue on this is that the production is severely lacking on every single song. It's terrible. There's so much going on sonically, but they force too much into this. The mix is not balanced, it's just a bunch of sounds mushed together. It really sounds like they were almost rushed in the recording process, or maybe, and probably more accurately, there was just nobody around who had the balls to tell them something didn't sound good. Now, there are 1 or 2 decent spots on this album, the best of them being the track Royal Cream. And the drums throughout have a pretty cool tone on almost every song. This isn't a terrible album, but it's really not very good either. And it's certainly not worthy of having the Afghan Whigs name anywhere near it. There's just no punch here, nothing for you to really musically latch onto or dig in with. If I had to sum the record up in 1 word, it would be disappointing. This is a very disappointing record, and it should have been a Greg solo record. It should not have been done under the name Afghan Whigs. And I have to think that they probably did this to try and move more copies of the album, so it's a bit of an untruth. If you've never heard the Afghan Whigs before, do not start with this album. Grab any other record that they did. This is not an Afghan Whigs record. This is a Greg solo record in the disguise of an Afghan Whigs release. And on the Buy It or Borrow It, this is a 100% bin it. Do not go near it under any circumstances. So that's what I got for you guys today. I hope you dug it. If you did, go ahead and click subscribe, leave a comment, click like, whatever you want to do. You can follow me on Twitter and Facebook right here, and I'll see you guys again next time.